I don't normally present from here, but with telework, it's kind of happening that way. We're so thrilled to be able to spend some time with you and talk a little bit about how our center supports student career readiness and success. I'll just take a few moments to introduce my colleagues, and as they present throughout the presentation, they can also say a few more words about themselves. So Melissa Gonzalez is our Career Development and Diversity Engagement Coordinator. Eunice Flores is our Career Development Coordinator, and she actually works with two colleges, the College of Arts and Letters and the College of Professional Studies and Fine Arts. And then finally, Claudia Marinez is our Experiential Learning Specialist, and she can say a little bit more about her role. All of them can actually when it comes up to them to present. This is our agenda, and what we're going to do is we're going to walk you through a few ways that we support students through resources, through services, and through programming and events. But as we get started, we really wanted to learn a little bit more about you. So if you wouldn't mind putting in the chat answers to these three questions, and if you only do 2 out of the 3, that's fine. But we really are interested in learning what department you represent. So if you could enter that, that would be outstanding. In addition to the department you represent, because we are Career Services, we'd also like to know, what was your first job? What was your first job? And you can determine what first job means. I'll just give you an example. My first job was with my brother, and we had a lawn mowing business when I was in 4th grade. Okay, so that takes me back a bit. And then in addition to what department are you representing and what was your first job, what did you want to be when you were growing up? What did you want to be when you were growing up? I'm going to ask, would either Eunice or Melissa take a look and just kind of give us some sense of who we have and what sorts of career ambitions we have?
Hi everybody, I see Thelma from STEM. Her first job was at Jack in the Box and she wanted to be a pediatrician. Hi, Thelma, thank you for sharing. Christy Andrade from the SDSU alumni. Her first job was at KFC. She says, so much chicken. I wanted to be, and she wanted to be an airline stewardess. That's pretty awesome. Who else? Taylor from Speech and Language and Hearing Sciences. First job was a babysitter, and she knew she wanted to work with children. That's a great way to discover that. Thank you. Tam Lu from Advising and Evaluations. First job was at McDonald's and always wanted to be a programmer. Let's see. Akil wanted to be a lawyer. There's some great things that I see coming up here. Any that I missed? I think I missed a couple. Let's see. Akil shared that his first job was at Quantica. Kathy Sweetman from Honors College, receptionist at an insurance office and travel agent. That's what she wanted to pursue. Liz Reap, she's a military and she's from the Military and Veterans Program. Taught sign language to small children, and I'm assuming wanting to pursue to be a president, which may still be possible. Jenny Shepard from RWS, first job was working at Uncle's Yogurt Shop, wanted to be an environmental ranger / educator. Awesome. And then also here, Haley Foster from the College of Education, Office for Student Success. First job was a graphic design instructor for kids at a local art center in her small town of Ohio. And wanted to be a teacher or an interior designer when she grew up. She really watched a lot of HGTV as a kid. I still do too. Thank you. All very fun. Thank you all for sharing.
Thank you, Eunice. So just a little bit about our agenda. What we do is we try to give you the basis of our approach to career development. So that's what the first few topics we'll review. And then toward the end, we're going to look at all the programming and services that are available to students and alumni. And just a quick note, in case you weren't aware of it, we are free to alumni. One of the ways that we succeed is working with all of you. And so what we wanted to do was just show you our team and talk a little bit about some of the collaborations that we have. So for example, I mentioned earlier that Eunice actually is a college-based career counselor for PSFA and Cal. We actually have those for all the colleges as well as for SDSU Imperial Valley. We work with another Melissa Gonzalez in SDSU Imperial Valley to ensure that students are career ready. If we don't catch students, as it were, and alumni through the traditional way of a college, for example, we would work with them through undeclared in terms of the efforts that go there, and other areas such as EOP and the identity centers. Speaking of identity centers, we are starting this year our 5th cohort of career peers. Career peers are 9 students who are trained by Melissa Gonzalez, who's with us here this afternoon, and Ramona Acuna, and they actually do an outstanding job of preparing students to go out and work with the identity centers, the residence halls, and other areas on campus. You may not have heard of it, but Workability 4 is a program that Career Services has been collaborating on with Student Ability Success Center since 1992. It's a program with the Department of Rehabilitation, and what that program does is it allows us to work with juniors and seniors through the Department of Rehabilitation for students who qualify to help them get jobs upon graduation. We're also very closely connected to Global Campus. We'll talk a little bit later about Handshake, but all the students on the Global Campus site, as it were, are affiliated to Career Services through Handshake. We're very, very well connected with the Office of SDSU Alumni in terms of the programming and services we offer. And then as part of the telework and SDSU Flex environment, one of our major initiatives right now, and is newly added, is we actually oversee 2 or co-oversee and oversee 1 affinity groups. One is for juniors, so this goes to all juniors, and what we do is work with them to make sure that they have the appropriate resources and programming to help them be successful. And then with seniors, and we do the same thing with the seniors. So we're thrilled to be a part of that. I'm going to turn it over next to Melissa Gonzalez, who's going to walk us through our career development model.
Thank you, James. And so this is our career development model. And when we meet with students, we believe that this is like a process that they go through. And so we want to share that with you all as our foundation. So let me start at the top with self-assessment. So it's important for our students to gather information about relevant skills, interests, values, and personality preferences. And all of this is connected or can connect to a career, right? So as students are considering what kind of career or even what kind of major, they should be keeping all of these different things in mind, their skills, their interests, values, and personality. Next, we have career exploration. So researching potential careers or industries of interest to expand their knowledge. So this is something that we do a lot through our career counseling appointments. For me, it's exciting when a student comes in and they say, I have no idea what I want to do. And I say, it's okay. And we enjoy sitting with them and walking through them, or walking with them through different resources and platforms for them to do this research. Then we have goal setting and career planning. So creating specific short and long-term goals to help them identify careers that match. And at the bottom, we have marketing yourself. So it's important for them to have a resume, a cover letter, to know how to create these. We know that students come to see us and they have some of them have no idea where to even start with a resume or a cover letter, and we're very happy to sit with them and walk them through that process. Our career peers also assist with that. So they, to repeat that again, they are undergraduate students and they're trained on how to create resumes, critique resumes, and they work one-on-one with students. And then also creating an online presence through LinkedIn, for example, is also very important to showcase their skills and qualifications. Next, we have interview preparation. So learning how to effectively communicate their skills, their experience to employers. I know that students they have skills and they've had experiences, but they've never maybe had the opportunity to articulate what those are before. So we enjoy sitting with them and helping them through that process. We also have a platform called Big Interview through Handshake, which you'll learn about in a little bit. And students are able to practice those interview skills. And again, just the opportunity to just articulate those different skills and experiences makes a big difference. Next, we have job search and networking. developing and utilizing their professional networks to get connected with career opportunities. Later on, we'll share about the Aztec Mentoring Program, where students are connected with a mentor who is in their field of interest. And a lot of opportunities can come out of that, right? So whether it's someone who is mentoring them and guiding them through the process of job search and networking, or even sharing, hey, there's this job opportunity that you might be interested in. So that also becomes very important. And then lastly, career management. So this is something that should be ongoing. So for all of us too, is important to be revisiting our career goals regularly and assess the progress. And just see how you're doing. So this also, it becomes important to make sure that we all have a mentor, right? Someone who we can connect with and talk through the things that we're doing, and make sure that we're on track to meet our career goals.
Thank you, Melissa. I'm going to actually talk a little bit next about career readiness. I'm sure you saw in our title that career readiness is a big emphasis in career services. So I'm staying on this slide intentionally just to mention to you, if you look at this as kind of like a clock and career management is 11 o'clock and you go all the way over to goal setting, which is like around 4 o'clock, that's really the emphasis of career readiness. So as I present to you the next slide, I just wanted you to keep in mind that when our center looks at career readiness, again, we look at our collaborations, we look at our partnerships, and we really look at this from the lens of being curricular and co-curricular efforts that really educate and provide students knowledge, skills, and abilities. And just to pause on the KSAs for a second, knowledge, skills, and abilities really are the currency of recruitment, not only university recruitment, but recruitment throughout our lives. So we really try to focus on those, and we do that to help everyone engage in lifelong career development. So harkening back to that model, you continually go through that model, as it were, and in career management. Because as we were talking about earlier, or as Melissa mentioned it when she was talking, it's very, very important to note that this doesn't end when you secure a job or whatever you decide to do after San Diego State. It's something that we all go through all of our lives. I want to share a few resources with you so that you can know where you might learn more. And by the way, we will be sending out this presentation and these links are embedded. But the National Association of Colleges and Employers, NACE, which is our home in many respects, has done great work with career readiness since about 2016 when they did a major review of employers, university recruiters, and asked, in essence, what do you want to learn from, or what would make students who are graduating career ready? And they came up with 8 career readiness competencies. You might not be familiar with NASPA, but NASPA is actually the professional association affiliated with Student Affairs. So we fall under Student Affairs and Campus Diversity. I chose these 2 links, the blog for small colleges, and you might think, well, we're not a small college, James. And I agree, we're not a small college, but the blog is really outstanding in terms of looking at the comments that come out around how do we tie the curricular to the co-curricular when we look at career readiness. And then there's a whole section in NASPA for course development. Some of you may be familiar with and active in the American Association of Colleges and Universities. I'm very active in that association, and they have a value rubric. The value rubric was actually created, I believe, in 2014, or maybe even a little bit earlier than that. It has 16 items in it. One of them is integrative learning. So if you wanted to learn more about curricular and co-curricular efforts to support career development, that would be a good place to start. And also what I really like about AAC&U is they really are committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And if you haven't had a chance to check out Making Excellence Inclusive, please do. Alma Clayton-Peterson, who you may recognize was one of the advisors to the strategic plan, also advises NACE and is very active in AAC&U. So you can see that there's a lot of connection there in terms of career readiness. San Diego State was one of 42 colleges that helped launch the Skill Survey and NACE Career Readiness Project for internships. You may have been one of the courses that we worked with over 2 years to develop this. We offered it up through last summer. Unfortunately, we couldn't afford the price in terms of continuing it, but it was a really great effort. I include this link so you can see what's available in terms of if you have an internship course that you'd like to enroll in it, what you can see in terms of career readiness. And then finally, Claudia is going to talk later about some of the work that she does with community engagement and service learning. In case you weren't aware of it, San Diego State is a member of the California Campus Compact. We've been involved in some of their conferences. And the national organization is Campus Compact. So all of those resources really inform the work that we do, inform that sort of constellation with career development, and help us to remain current in terms of the information that we share with students. I'm going to turn it over next to Eunice and invite Eunice to talk about our career advising.
Yeah, thank you, James. Hi, everybody. I'm Eunice, pronouns she, her, hers. And I'm so excited to be here with you and tell you a little bit about how we work with our students. How do we engage with them? So you got a great overview of our career development model. And it's good to know that, I mean, we meet students all over, all over this model. They could be, at the self-awareness stage, all the way to, they're ready to do some job search. So we're really trying to meet our students' needs, and we really care about that. But I would like to begin, we've talked about self-awareness, and how do we do that? How do we give our students an opportunity to really learn about themselves? What is their knowledge, their skills and ability? Because this is central to their career making decisions. It's really going to influence what they do, goal setting, how they continue their job search, who do they network, all that good stuff. So to begin with self-awareness, we do offer, number one that you see here is our strong inventory a test that is available to them. Right now, it is available for them for free. It doesn't have a cost. However, we do see a lot of students who are greatly interested, and it's a very useful tool for them to really learn, give them some ideas, really spark some interest, or sometimes it even confirms what they already know. And I think that's really cool to see that, like, okay, I'm on the right track. Like, I want to move forward. So that's really, really exciting to have that outcome when they take the inventory. The next is our type focus. So this is more of our personality and interest. So also another great, this is actually a newer version that's going to be available here, I believe this week, or if not pretty soon. James, you can correct me on that. But that is also a great way. That one's free, available, and they have access to that through their Handshake account. So great tools for our students to use and to begin, whether they're freshmen. We've had, juniors and seniors. Again, it's very essential to their career decision-making process. Now, other things that we do, you have heard about some of these one-on-one counseling sessions, and some of the things that we do is career planning and goal setting. Very important. A lot of them don't know where to start. How do they begin? What is more important? What are their priorities? So really helping them figuring that, and how do they get to their end goal or their job, that they want. So really spending some time with them and being able to have a focus on those career goals. Also just talking about majors and career exploration. Sometimes they do come to us, as Melissa said, I don't know what I want to do. And we understand it can be anxiety inducing to a lot of our students. So we really have to just talk with them, even asking them a simple question like, what do you like to do? What makes you happy? And once you get them started to talk about the things, they start to realize what are their passions, their skills, what are they interested in? So it's really, really neat to see that happen. So that's what we love to do in our one-on-ones, including resume development, interview preparation, and we do that in terms of a mock interview. So we've done this virtually. And I guess I should mention all the things that I'm talking about today, we are doing them virtually for fall. We're offering everything virtually, and we have been successful, so that's been awesome. But interview preparation, as I said, mock interviews on a one-on-one. I'll record a session with a student, and it's really great, with their permission, and then they like it because they can replay the session that we just had and listen to the commentary. Strategies for job and internship search, really showing them what are the tools that they can use, how to go about beginning their search, using some of the online resources, and then networking skills, right? How do we use LinkedIn, especially now in this virtual world? How can they use that to the best of their advantage, right? So really getting them that understanding. Graduate school planning, we have many students who are, thinking about that, or maybe not quite sure if this is the next step for them. So really having that conversation, everything from, what program, thinking about what kind of questions you should ask during the application process, whether is it a good time, is it a good fit financially, is this the best option for you? So really thinking about that with the student. Community service, I have a lot of students who want to be engaged with our community, and how do they do that? How do they make this a career in their future? And they learn by doing, by being out there. We're also serving our alumni. Recently, we have been able to offer our services for free to our alumni. So that has been really great. We have really seen an increase, of them coming and using our resources, and they're super, super grateful. So really working with them, connecting with them. Some of them could be, at a career change, and they need some focus, some guidance, so they come and see us. So it's been great to be able to support our SDSU alumni. So make sure your students know that they have access to career services even post-graduation. Next up, we have career development resources in terms of workshops. We are offering them virtually. We have seen great success, great attendance numbers, and workshops on a variety of topics. These are group sessions in terms of, how do we write a resume or an impactful resume? What are some interviewing skills? Most recently, we had a panel where we brought in some alumni during the recession in 2008 and having them talk about their experience and how to deal with, the current climate, the current pandemic, and how does that, because a lot of them are very nervous about the job market, which makes sense. So we wanted to bring them some, people who have gone through that, who have some experience and can share that knowledge. So we have a workshop on a variety of topics, really trying to understand what our student needs, what they need, and bringing that to them. So there's that. And then Aztec Mentor Program, really great, awesome resource for our juniors and seniors. Part of their career management is, connecting with having a mentor. And we really want to make that easier for them, connecting them with a SDSU alumni, not just locally, but nationwide. Just great people who want to support our students, teach them the ways, teach them about their industry, what they're doing, give them guidance on their resume, potentially even some internship opportunities. It's a great way for our students to begin networking with our very own SDSU alumni. Last but not least, we have micro internships. So this is recently new, giving students an opportunity, especially with a lot of our internships, perhaps being cut off early due to COVID. Some may having some difficulty finding something, that they need, but micro internships are a lot shorter in time, and really allows them to perhaps maybe even multiple ones. But through Parker Dewey, they can search different micro internships. They can see the length, and they can get paid, which I think is the best part. They really have access to that information, view the listing of what is available that's related to the skills that they're looking for, that they want to enhance, keep working on. Parker Dewey is going to be a great resource for our students now to really participate and engage on some opportunities. Turn it over to, I believe, Melissa?
Yes. Yes, so we mentioned Handshake. So there's a link, sdsu.joinhandshake.com. So this is our virtual platform that we use, and students, and by the way, alumni also have access to it. They can request an account, and that information is on our website. So the platform is to explore career options, find jobs, internships, and connect with employers. So it has the ability to do all of that. There are a lot of jobs and internships posted on there. More than 1,000 universities use it nationwide, which then in return provides connections with more than 6 million active students and over 500,000 employers, including Fortune 500 companies. So again, so we have job listings on there, on campus recruiting and interviewing. So employers will set up their interviews through Handshake to meet with our students. We have employer information sessions. So employers will set up an informational session where they can talk about their company and opportunities that they offer, and then students in turn have the opportunity to ask questions. There are also volunteer opportunities on there, fellowships, and of course we have all of our workshops and events on there. So students can go on there, and alumni, and they can register for events, for workshops. They can search for jobs and apply through jobs, either through Handshake, or there would be an external link depending on what the employer chooses to do. So if you are interested in posting jobs that are within your department for students, please sign up as an employer on Handshake. And again, we'll be sending out the presentation with all the links so that way you can click on each of the links. But yes, so you have the ability to request a Handshake account to post jobs. And you can also request a courtesy account if you would like to have your account and see everything that we have on there, all the different resources. You can definitely do that, and we welcome that, because then you are also more informed on the different resources and can also share with students. All right, and now turning it over to Claudia.
Thank you, Melissa. And my name is Claudia Marinez. So as James mentioned, I'm the Experiential Learning Specialist at Career Services, and my duties revolve around community engagement opportunities and as they support career development and career readiness. So whether it is through connecting and doing outreach to nonprofits or student workshops highlighting how service translates to soft skill development, or even a potential career path into industries of social impact, as well as developing related programming. And so as Melissa shared, through Handshake, you can learn about events that Career Services hosts. So with this in mind, I wanted to highlight some of the upcoming programming this fall and into the spring. In the fall, we do host career fairs, with the next one coming up next week on September 16 and September 17th. And as of today, we have 30 employers registered for day 1 and 23 employers registered for day 2. In preparation for career fairs, like Eunice mentioned as well, we do host workshops which aim to prepare participants to interact with employers or different grad programs, whether it is through a Resumenia events, which typically occur the 2 days prior to the career fairs, or whether it is through attending a workshop about composing an elevator pitch, or learning how to network, or tips on writing their statement of purpose. There is limited space for some of these events, so we always encourage students and alumni to register through our Handshake platform. Also in September, through the Aztec Mentor Program, we have the Amplify Your Mentor Experience event. It's happening on September 23rd, and the theme this semester is Succeeding During the Pandemic, so that participants can learn about the importance of marketing themselves, leveraging connections, building a network, and also bringing their best selves to their next interview. In November, we also have the inaugural Social Justice Summit, which aims to expose students to explore the many ways that they can move their passion for social justice into career tangible options, or next steps for career development. So we always hear that, and learn that there's so many unique avenues that students can take to connect their passion for social advocacy to careers. And this space helps with exploring what those avenues might be. Currently, we are taking proposals for workshops and for panels, and I'm happy to share the link to the Google survey via the chat if you're interested in submitting a proposal or just connecting with us to get more information. We do also host panels that bring together professionals or employers from various industries, like the Careers in STEM panels, which again bring together STEM students and professionals from the STEM fields. We also have the Learn and Serve panel, which is happening on October 7th. And it focuses on service gap years and how gap years could serve as students transition into their professional world, as they explore fields of social impact, and as they continue to explore their career path in general. In spring, we also have the Diversity Career Conference, which typically happens in February. And we have additional career fairs, including a business career fair, a nonprofit and education career fair, and what we like to call a just-in-time career fair, which happens towards the end of the semester. Next slide, please. Okay, so next, I also wanted to mention a program that Career Services is involved with, which is the Knowledge Exchange Empowerment Program, also known as KEEP. And KEEP's mission is to cultivate Black students in higher education for their transition from students to professionals. So the program focuses on career readiness for students who identify or are interested in issues facing African Americans in the business industry. And it is a semester-long program, and it brings together a number of Black professionals wanting to empower future leaders in an effort to bring diversity and social equity to corporate leadership. And some of the ways that they address these are by exchanging knowledge between generations to enhance strategic professional development, economic empowerment, and financial literacy. And recruitment is currently active and open until September 25th. So for more information, the point of contact is Quincy Penn, and his email is on this slide, but I'm also happy to put it in the chat box here shortly. And I believe next is Eunice.
Awesome. So I hope you enjoyed learning what some of our services that we offer to our students. And again, we're open even virtually, as you all know. But we do want to thank you all and give some time to answer any questions that you may have. So I think if you want to unmute yourself or if you want to write it in the chat, we can do that. And it could be directed to any one of us, or any one of us can help answer those questions. So are there any questions? Akil, yeah, do you want to unmute yourself? Would you like to, or you can chat either way?
Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead and just unmute. Guys, I thank you guys for the presentation. I think all of these sort of, all the different things that you guys offer is just really, really great for students and alumni. My question is, I direct another program on campus, and I try to encourage students to kind of go to these services and to get in contact with you guys, to just see what you guys offer. But I think that students sometimes might be like intimidated, or they just they don't know exactly where to look, to kind of like, to see what exactly they want. So what is your suggestion for, different leaders like myself that want to promote your guys' programs to actually get students to, kind of, go forth and contact you guys and sort of have the confidence to kind of know it's okay to not know exactly what they want to do or so forth, and still contact you guys?
Yeah, I would love to get some insight from everybody else, but I just want to take it back to when I was a student. I didn't use career services myself because I didn't know or what to ask. Perhaps maybe I'm embarrassed to get asked a question, what do you want to do, and not knowing, right? And I think what would have helped me back then was the faculty, the staff that I knew that knew me and worked with me that said, hey, it's okay not to know. Go ahead and, let me connect you with Eunice. Let me connect you with James, making that direct contact. I think thinking back in my experience, that's what would have helped me, just to kind of give you, that perspective. But I would love to hear if James or Claudia, I see you're on mute.
Sure, and Akil, it's great to see you. What I would say is to, one of the ways that students affiliate with the university is through their college. And so, as I mentioned earlier, we really are newly creating these positions that are college-based. And so if you'd like, if you ever want to know who's overseeing what college, as it were, you can email me and I could introduce you. The thing that I would say is you're exactly right in terms of the intimidation piece. But students don't have to have any reason other than just they want to talk to somebody in career services. So I would say, start with the college, know that they can come in, for example, and share a resume. And often that actually ends up with questions about, well, this thing Handshake, I've never used it before, but I've heard of my friends using it. And the career counselor can talk to them about that. The other thing is that I'm very willing, if students have questions, they can contact me directly. I'm very willing to answer those and to work with them and to refer them on to other people. But I do think the first big step is just to connect with us, largely through a person though, because we have many people who are doing work, not just with the colleges, but also with experiential learning like Claudia is. And Claudia's, I'm not going to speak for Claudia, but I'll just mention she's very well connected to AS and to several other groups. Claudia, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you for that question, Akil. Absolutely. There's so many ways that students can, start to get professional development, but a couple of the two tangible examples that I can think about is we have a Google form through our website where you can request an overview of career services to come to your classrooms or to your areas. And so with that said, we usually have the career peers to do the presentations. And the reason why we like to use career peers is because there's such a much easier connection in regards to having a peer, right, who is able to talk to them about career development and about the different resources that we offer, and also that we can connect them with. So those will also be a couple of the examples. And again, I feel like all of us in this room right now and in the department in general, we're always super eager to connect with new partners and just getting to know more students. So if you like, you can find our Google survey on our website as well.
Yeah, and one other thing that I just thought about is, given that it's a virtual environment, we do have a virtual front desk, and Michelle Crownhart is our virtual front desk receptionist, and that is open every day from 9 to 4. And when students come in there, she or one of our student assistants will talk to the student about a need that they may have. And if they can't resolve the need, or if it's an immediate need, they can refer them to a career peer who may be on call, as it were, and or several of the career counselors who work in tandem through a Google group to make sure that if we have a need to answer a question immediately. So I know Zoom is kind of a challenge for people, but really we offer that. And then Melissa might speak a little bit to this. If the person has any sort of related ability issues that might impact the delivery of services, we work with Student Ability Success Center to ensure that, for example, for career fairs, that we can provide that support. Melissa, did you want to say a few words about that?
Yes, absolutely. If we receive any questions regarding accommodations, we have our connection with SASE to make sure that we do make those accommodations accordingly. So definitely, if we don't get the request directly from SASE, if we get it from the student, we will make sure that we set up those accommodations. And to add, now we're all giving a lot of information, but to add to, for the virtual front desk, we are also rolling out this initiative that we're calling Chat with a Career Peer. And they are going to be available Monday through Thursday, 1 to 3, and Fridays, 10 to noon. So they'll be sitting at the virtual front desk for any students who come and they want to chat with a career peer, again, regarding any random questions that they have related to career, or if they have a resume, they would be placed into a breakout room through the front desk, and then they can have that conversation and that session there.
This is all great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for asking. Absolutely.
Any other questions?
I have a quick question. Taylor, hi, Speech Language Hearing Sciences. I'm the undergrad advisor over in Speech Language Hearing Sciences. Thank you so much. This has been great just to hear more. I know Natalia has done a great job of kind of informing us on a lot of these things, but it's great just to hear it again. I had a quick question for Claudia. I heard you mention briefly that gap year presentation kind of thing going on. If you wouldn't mind providing more, because I know that a lot of our students who are thinking about the graduate school route are really considering now more than ever that gap year. So I thought that potentially could be a good use of their time.
Awesome, absolutely. And I'll be happy. We're finalizing a flyer for it, and I'm happy to connect with you and also include Natalia in the conversation to share that information. But just overall, the event is on October 7th, and it's going to be around lunchtime. We thought it was a good time to be flexible in regards to schedules. And for that specific panel, we're bringing in Teach for America, Peace Corps, and City Year. And they give a little bit of background about their organization and the different expectations, but also benefits that would come with joining their organization. And what they like to do is they bring alumni from those specific organizations, and they talk about their journey and their experience serving through them. So as soon as the flyer is done, I will make sure that I share it with you and Jen as well to share with everybody.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Any additional questions? Let's see, it looks like we have one here. Yeah, social media. We've definitely, it's actually on the screen, so that's a great segue here. We do have Instagram. We're very active. We also are on LinkedIn, and we encourage our students to follow us in those areas. but we're very active on career services. So yes, please feel free to repost anything that we do share. We want to spread the word. And we'll do vice versa too. If we can do that in any way and support your departments or your efforts, we'd be happy to do that. But yeah, you can see our little, our hashtag, not our hashtag, I don't know what it's called, but you know, you can find us on Instagram at SDSU Career Services.
Yeah, feel free to tag us.
Yes, feel free to tag us, yes. No other questions? All right. I don't think we have any other questions. I just want to remind you all to connect with us. If you ever see an opportunity for us to collaborate with any of your efforts, or us coming to you, you know, either whether it's our peers or one of us doing a presentation for your class, we're always looking forward to do that. So that's what I wanted to add, and I want to, James, Claudia, Melissa.
We have someone raise their hand, Jenny Shepard.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. I just had a quick question. This was all really great. I'm both the graduate advisor in RWS, and then I teach some professional communication courses where we do resumes and cover letters and LinkedIn and everything. And so I was just kind of poking around on the Career Services website. You mentioned Handshake, and I'm wondering if faculty can create accounts there, just so that I can see the platform that I'll hopefully be directing students towards.
Yes, definitely. You can request a courtesy account and you'll have access to what the students would have access to. Definitely.
Okay, that's great. I just like to be able to see it, so when they have questions, I know where to direct them. So thank you.
Yeah,
So it's right here. Yeah, at the bottom where it says to request a courtesy account, and then you'll have access to the presentation. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And if you wanted to, before that time, if you just send me an email, and my email is just jtarbox at sdsu.edu. If you send me your red ID, I will, and your preferred email, I'll forward that on to Chris Turrentine, who can create those accounts.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, Melissa, thank you for putting in my email.
James or Claudia or whoever has the slides, if you want to make sure to send me the file, I'll send an email out to everyone who's here with us today, and as well as once the recording link is available, send that out to everybody so you'll have all those links.
I'll send it to you right afterwards. Okay. Any other questions for us?
I put it in the chat a couple of times, but do please, for those of you who have ever come to a CTL event, you know I will bug people forever about doing evaluations. But please do take just a minute to do that. And in particular, if you have ideas for other events or topics that you would like to see the Center for Inclusive Excellence organize, feel free to put those in the box on at the end of the evaluation as well. I'll just thank James and his whole team, everyone who is here today. This is amazing information, and I'm really glad I'm recording and that we'll have these slides so that I can bug other people who I think need to see it. And just thank you again for all of the great stuff you guys are doing.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. We really appreciate your time.